So my grandma passed away, and she was like the matriarch of our family. And they would take her and my grandpa would take me, my brothers, our cousins. They would always take us all at the same time. They would take us on trips together, and it made us pretty close when we were little. So when she passed, it was really hard because, she was the matriarch of our family, and we were all very close to her. She loved us all very much. She was very present in our life. So fast forward, and now I'm a psychic medium, and, I always was. I just didn't know it at the time what was happening. But my cousin's getting married. So last night he got married, and about a month before the wedding, my grandma came to me in spirit and said, you need to channel a message from me. I want to give a letter to him for his wedding day. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like you tell me, I'll do it. So I sat down, I channeled the message. As I'm channeling the message, it gets to a part where it's important to say that when we were all little, my other cousin, his sister, passed away when she was just a little baby. I was really young when this happened. I was like just maybe 9 years old. So when this happened, that was that was like over 20 years ago. So it was a very long time ago. I don't really remember a lot about that time, but as I'm channeling this message, I get to this part where I hear in my head, I am sitting here with Uncle David and Izzy. And I'm like, Izzy? I was like, who the heck is Izzy? I'm going through like everyone in the family that's passed away. And I was like, who would Izzy be? And so then I was thinking like, I could vaguely remember. I was like, so her name was Alyssa. And so I vaguely remembered. I was like, I feel like maybe they called her like Sissy Izzy or like something like that. I was like, but I can't be sure. And I was like, I don't want to like put that in the letter and then them not know what that is. So I texted my mom. I was like, did they used to call Alyssa? Did Mama, that's what we called my grandma. I was like, did Mama used to call Alyssa Izzy? Was that like significant? She goes, yes, all the time. That was what they called her all the time. And I was like, that kind of validated it for me. I mean, obviously I knew I was channeling my grandma, but I was like, of course that's her way of, because it's really hard to channel for yourself. It's really hard to read yourself, right? But I was like, if I were writing that letter, I would have put her name. I would have put Alyssa. But because I was channeling my grandma, she chose to use the name Izzy. And I just feel like that was a really cool moment for me. And so then we get to the wedding, and we get to the part where my cousin is doing the dance with his mom. And time kind of just stood still in that moment. And then I saw my grandma and my cousin there in spirit. They were there. And I'm like, oh my God, they're here. They're here. There was gold light, no one else can see it but me, obviously. But I was like, they are here. Just like they told me they'd be in that letter. And I, tap my mom on the shoulder because we're all watching the dance. And she looks at me and she's got just tears in her eyes. She has a bunch of tears welled up in her eyes. And I said, they're here. And she goes, I know. I feel them. And it was just a beautiful moment. And, I'm sharing this because I just think it's a cool story, first of all. But also, with the holidays coming up, know that your loved ones are near. Just if you can't see them, it doesn't mean they're not there. They are there in spirit. They're there at all of your special events. They do not miss those things. I promise you. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, but I promise you, they are there. They don't miss those things. They're there in spirit. Okay? You guys, happy holidays.